So you're thinking about moving to Los Osos, California, and the first thing you're thinking to yourself is, which neighborhood do I want to live in? There are multiple neighborhoods and they all have a little bit of a different style, a different view. And in this video, I am going to walk you through a full map tour. That way you can learn where all the different neighborhoods are and what you might be able to expect in those locations. My name is Denise Dresbach. I am a licensed California real estate agent, and I'm located here on the Central Coast of California. So we're going to cover neighborhoods. We're also going to talk about trails and coastal access, as well as things like where you're going to grab groceries, the hardware store, dining, and other local favorites like the farmer's market. And then we're also going to talk about where Los Osos sits in relation to the big city, San Luis Obispo, where you're going to be able to find things like doctors, big box stores, and the airport. So let's get started. What you can see right now is an overview of California, and you see this red pointer here. This is Los Osos, California, and you'll notice that it is halfway between San Francisco and Los Angeles, which is basically how I describe my location in Morro Bay, because some people have never heard of Morro Bay, and when they ask where you're from, you say, well, it's a coastal town located halfway between San Francisco and LA. Everybody usually knows that. So Los Osos is kind of off the main path. As you zoom in here, you're going to see some of the Central Coast towns we talk about a lot: Cambria, Cayucas, Morro Bay, and of course San Luis Obispo, Pismo Beach down here in the south area, in the southern area, I should say. And a lot of these towns or locations are right off of Highway 1. Cambria, Cayucas, Morro Bay, all of these locations are right off of Highway 1. You can see them. And what you'll notice about Los Osos, and which makes it a little bit more of like a hidden gem, is that it's not off of the main highway. So you might see a sign for Los Osos when you're driving on Highway 1, but you're maybe just not familiar, and you only really end up there if you were planning on going there. So let's take a look at distance. So some of the main roads that exist in Los Osos are South Bay Boulevard and Los Osos Valley Road. Also, sometimes you'll see it written as LOVR, Los Osos Valley Road. So those are the two main roads that are going to get you in and out of Los Osos. So if we start with South Bay Boulevard, you can hit that from Highway 1, and that's going to take you through Morro Bay, the back behind Black Hill, and towards Los Osos. And that is a very scenic drive. You're going to see, of course, the estuary. You're going to see birds, hills, peaks, lots of nature. So it's a very scenic ride from Morro Bay to Los Osos, and of course, going the opposite direction. And Los Osos and Morro Bay are very close to each other. I can see Los Osos right out my window right now, and I'm in Morro Bay. And of course, a lot of the homes and locations in Los Osos, you look across, what are you going to see? Morro Rock. So you'll see Morro Bay, the estuary, and Morro Rock from Los Osos. We're very close. I think it's about maybe 6 miles, 10 to 15-minute drive, depending on where you're at and where you're going to. So that's a quick location right there from Morro Bay. So South Bay Boulevard, that's one of your main ones to remember. The other main road to remember is LOVR, Los Osos Valley Road. And that is the one that cuts right through the middle here and is going to take you to San Luis Obispo. So if we zoom out and we take a look at Los Osos is outlined here to the left, San Luis Obispo is right over here. And that's another scenic ride through Los Osos Valley Road. And that's going to be about 12 miles or 20 minutes, depending on where you're going to. Of course, San Luis Obispo is bigger, much more populated, and it's the big city around here. So you're going to be able to find your box stores there, and maybe a lot of your doctors and appointments and things like that might be over there. And then, of course, they have downtown San Luis Obispo as well. And then things like the airport. So if you want to get to the airport from Los Osos, you're looking at about, 14 miles, 25 minutes, again, depending on which location you're coming from in Los Osos. So that is basically your main way into San Luis Obispo, but you can also get there to Highway 1. If you hit that South Bay Boulevard, you can run into Highway 1 and then jam into San Luis Obispo that way. And really, it all depends on how much time you've got and which part of SLO you are heading into. So then if we take a look, Los Osos Valley Road going towards the ocean, you're going to see that that is the main entrance to Montana de Oro State Park. And this is a beautiful park, famous park that everybody loves. It's got so much to offer. For example, you can do hiking, biking, surfing, hang out at the beaches. There's camping, and then of course there's like some museum and thing like that. So a lot of nature, beautiful views from up there, and you win in any sport that you're doing, even if you're just going up there to sit there on the top of the cliff and look out at the ocean. So Montana de Oro, that entrance there is right out of Los Osos, and so if you live in Los Osos, you have a quick access to get to that location at any time. So sometimes you'll hear about the sand spit, which is this piece of land that's poking out right here across Morro Bay. So right here up in the left-hand corner is Morro Rock, and then this is the sand spit. So when you're in Morro Bay and you're in your kayak or maybe you got a boat or you're renting a boat, you can see the sand spit across from there, and that's protecting the bay. And I did talk a little bit about that in my intro video, so check that out if you haven't already. So Sandspit, you can get to by boat, but you can also get to it from Los Osos by land, and we'll talk about that when we hit one of the neighborhoods over there. Okay, so as I mentioned, if you need a Home Depot, you need a Costco, Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, or Madonna Inn for some cake. These things are all located in San Luis Obispo, and when you're in Los Osos, you have that direct access from Los Osos Valley Road. So a lot of the times there are doctors and things like that in Los Osos and Morro Bay, but a lot of the times you might be headed to SLO for doctor's appointments and things like that, maybe procedures and things like that as well. So it's nice to be close in to Los Osos where you can have that nature all around you. You're close to the water, but you also have quick access to SLO for all those other necessities. All right, so let's zoom back down into Los Osos Valley Road, that main road that cuts right through. And if you zoom right in here on the corner of South Bay Boulevard and Los Osos Valley Road, you're going to find Ralph's, which is the grocery store there. You also have a grocery outlet in the next center over. So Ralph's and Grocery Outlet are two locations that you can go grocery shopping. Of course, you can always go to Spencer's in Morro Bay if you're looking for more of a local flavor. But you do have Ralph's right there. And then as we zoom in closer, you're going to start to see things like Beach Hut Deli, great place to get a sandwich. There's some cafes, there's even a Starbucks, bakery, and then you're going to find all kinds of different restaurants like an ale house, Mexican restaurant, all kinds of stuff. You're also going to find things like banks, mechanics, postal service, labs, so you can get blood drawn. You don't have to head to SLO for that, and things like that on this main road. So when you want to find a hardware store, we have a Miner's Ace Hardware right there in Los Osos. And then if you want to do even more garden type shopping, there's Los Osos Valley Nursery, which is a fabulous nursery to go visit. They have a wide selection of all kinds of things. They've got tons of plants, of course, for outdoor. They even have an indoor plant section. They have a huge succulents selection, all kinds of different pots and trees and fruits and veggies and trinkets to buy. And of course, things like soil. Really nice nursery. And if you're looking for things that are going to grow well in this area, highly suggest you check it out. Or even if you just want to walk through and look at all the pretty stuff, it's a great place to visit. So that's on Los Osos Valley Road as well. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I think that that pretty much covers kind of the grocery shopping and restaurants in that section of Los Osos. And if we start now talking about neighborhoods, we're going to start over here in Baywood Park. So Baywood Park, you can see, is surrounded by a lot of the water here. And this location, you might also call it like downtown Los Osos. It's going to have a lot of like boutique shops. There's plenty of dining. things like there's another deli there, High Street Deli. Then there's pizza, there's Beerwood, which is a great place to get a beer and some food. And then as we zoom in, we're going to see um, other types of dining options. Another good one, Second Street Cafe. There's the Merry Maker, which is a bar there, a local bar there on the corner, and it's all fixed up and ready for you to go in and grab a drink, listen to some live music and things like that. And I think they even do like private party type things. Real close to the water, so great spot to grab a drink and then maybe take a walk along the coast. There are a few inns in this location. You can see Back Bay Inn, and then there's Baywood Inn, and Back Bay is right on the water there, and you can actually walk through there. They have some beautiful landscaping and access to the neighborhood here as well. So any of this area of Baywood Park, you're definitely going to have access to water and different trails and things like that and lookout points. Also very popular is, of course, the farmers market. That's on Monday, and you're going to find great things, produce, homemade soup, bread, all kinds of great yummy things there. And there's a wide selection, and it's a locals popular favorite thing to do on a Monday. And I highly suggest you check it out. If you're coming for a weekend trip, make sure you leave on Monday afternoon or Tuesday because you want to check it out on Monday. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. I have more videos on the way, and I've created more in the past of other locations here on the Central Coast of California. Thanks for watching. Okay, so now if we take a look at over here, this road that wraps around this area here is Pasadena. And along Pasadena, you're going to see there's some homes that are on the coast there. So if you want a waterfront property, this is a great location to check out here in Baywood. And of course, all of this neighborhood is great as well. But if you take a look over here, this green patch, you're going to see Baywood Park Beach. And it's a great spot to walk the dogs, or if you don't have dogs, of course, you should walk along the water there at low tide. So maybe you have a Tides app, you can check out when it's low tide, or maybe you just know because you're looking out the window. And you walk along there, and there's a wide beach. There's barely anybody out there. And I'm not really afraid of like making it a crowded place by announcing this because, well, I'm a small channel, so we're not too worried. But Baywood Park Beach, that is a great spot to take a walk all along here. So what you get to do is walk all along here, along this outskirt here. And then what you get are views of course, Morro Bay and the Morro Rock and all of that good thing. So that's one location that you could head out to. And then if we zoom in here, there's an overlook over here, Audubon Overlook. It's just a small little deck there that you can walk up to and take a look. Great spot. You live in one of these streets and sunset, I mean, you might as well just walk over there and take a look, right? Another great spot to take a walk. You see all this green here up at the top. So this is Elfin Forest. So this is where you're going to see boardwalk and trails all along here. And you see each one of these roads here, or streets, have a little trail access. So living over here on this corner, not only are you close to South Bay Boulevard, which takes you right into Morro Bay or to Highway 1, but you're also very quick access to any of these trails. And it's a great walk. You can do a couple of loops. You can go to some of the viewpoints and you just look out to the water. High tide, low tide. It's always a beautiful view and excellent spot if you want to see the sunset. So that's Elfin Forest right up there, that big green spot. And now let's head back towards Baywood. And as we pass around this section here, we're going to see Sweet Springs. So this is another green spot here on the map that I'll pull up into the middle here and zoom in. So Sweet Springs is a nature preserve, great spot to walk. Again, you're going to have those coastal views, Morro Rock, trees, birds, and that's one thing that you must keep in mind is that you're not allowed to have dogs on this one. So no dogs here, and I have seen occasionally there'll be a post that is up at the entryway. There's a couple different spots that you can go into the Sweet Springs, and it's warning of mountain lions. So something to keep in mind. And but beautiful place to walk right there. And again, so if you're located in Baywood or over in this neighborhood, you have quick access to Sweet Springs. And I will mention right along Ramona here, you're going to see there's a mobile home park. So that spot there, if you're looking for a mobile home or a manufactured home, that'd be a good spot to buy in, and then you have quick access to Sweet Springs. Now, as we head towards the left here, I'm just going to move this up and over so you can keep an idea here. So some of these streets here, this is Cuesta Inlet. And the Cuesta-by-the-Sea neighborhood is another great option. This option here is great because you can walk to, again, the water. So we're really covering all the water, the close to water neighborhoods right now. So Cuesta-by-the-Sea is kind of this section in here, and you can get to a couple of coastal access. And then Cuesta Inlet, of course, there is a section here where you can walk through and walk all along the coast there. And there's a couple of spots where you can get into it, like off of Doris Avenue and things like that. So along there, you're going to see a lot of colorful kayaks that are upside down. Definitely walked there many times with the dogs, and occasionally you just kind of feel like you're looking at a postcard because of those colorful kayaks that are there. So that's a great spot. Again, nice neighborhood. Some of the roads in this neighborhood are paved and some of them are dirt. And so you kind of feel, you get this nice kind of country feeling in some of those areas. But something to think about, you know, if it's going to rain or something like that, you're looking at a house that's on dirt road, keep that in mind. It's like, is that something I really want to do? But all in all, most of them are paved. And again, great location to get to the water and other access to, you know, Sweet Springs and things like that. And you're not too far from Baywood Park or downtown Los Osos as well. So now we're going to head towards the left here. And if you zoom in a little bit, this big section right here is the Sea Pines Golf Course. And there's also a resort. And then there's also the Clubhouse Grill, which is the restaurant there at Sea Pines. So when you're living in this neighborhood and this neighborhood, you're very close to that. I hear they have like live music weekly and things like that. Maybe, I'm not sure if it's a summer thing or what, but they do have live music. So you can go down there, get a beer or a glass of wine, listen to the live music, hang out with your neighbors on the grass, and just enjoy the Central Coast weather. This neighborhood right here is called Sunset Terrace. So let me zoom out just a bit. You get a feel. So you can see to the left is Shark Inlet, and then the sand spit is over here. But in this section here, this is Sunset Terrace. And Sunset Terrace is, you're going to have some views from some of these homes, especially obviously on this end here, of the golf course and Morro Rock and the bay. And this also gives you access to the Coastal Access Monarch Butterfly Preserve. So during the monarch butterfly season, you can go in, there's a bunch of eucalyptus and you can check out the monarch. There's a pathway trail that takes you all along here. You can get to the sand spit, and you can take your dogs on this walk, but you cannot take them on the sand spit, and there are signs to tell you where and how you should, you know, operate. So when you are in this area, you can walk all along back in here, and just great trail back behind the golf course and then up to the water. And you can even walk along this section here and check out the water views from here as well. So it's a great place to walk if you want a new viewpoint, because maybe you're always over here at Baywood Park or something like that. So great spot to check out. And if you're in that neighborhood, you can just pop right on and go check out. Again, you need to go check out the sunset. You can pop onto that trail and go check it out. So again, another one where I barely see any people when we take our dogs to walk over there. So if you can see that section there, Sunset Terrace, and there's Los Osos Valley Nursery, which I was talking about earlier. And so you're close to that. You can go over there and get plants. And now, if we head towards this direction, I do want to mention there are some other neighborhoods that I'm going to miss. And if you notice I missed something and you know of a neighborhood, I'd love to hear it in the comments. I'll make another map video tour just to cover all the things that I missed, because, you know, we're trying to cover the basics here. But something that's not basic is this next neighborhood, which is right up Rodman Drive. As soon as you turn onto Rodman Drive, you are going to see a sign that says Cabrillo Estates. So Cabrillo Estates is a neighborhood that as you go up Rodman, you are going up, up, up. And especially this location here in the lower section is where you're going to have some fabulous views because you climb. And so great place to walk if you want to have some incline in your walk. I think there was one time where I was looking at two homes. One was up the hill, and by the time I got to the second one, I had to just take a rest for a minute because I was like, okay, I need some more exercise here. And this is a great place to get it because the roads definitely have some incline here. But what that gets you are top of the world views. You can see out to Cayucas, Morro Rock, Morro Bay, and everything in between. So you get a great view. And it's like looking at, a piece of art on your wall, except for it's your view. So one thing to note about this neighborhood, a lot of the times the lots are quite large and the homes are larger. So if you're looking for a little more space and both land and home, this might be a good neighborhood to check out. And then you have these beautiful views. Another thing to keep in mind is most of the homes, if not all, are on septic. So you do want to make sure when you're buying a home in this area to get that septic inspection, and then keep in mind that there might be future assessments to attach to the public sewer. That's an ongoing conversation that's been going on for a while. So right now it's May 2025 and there is ongoing conversation. And if you have any questions about that or anything that I'm talking about in this video, please don't hesitate to comment below with those questions, or you can text, email, or call. All that information is down below in the description. Just click more and that'll open up right at the top. And typically I pin it to the comments as well. So please reach out if you have any questions. And if I don't know it, I'll find out. Okay, so beautiful views and a little bit of space here up here on Cabrillo Estates. And now we're going to head back down to Los Osos Valley Road, and I'm going to head over to this neighborhood here. So right above here is Los Osos Valley Road, as we mentioned before. And this section here, you've got Highland Drive. And this neighborhood, as you head up towards this kind of open space here, you're going to see not only do you have access to a couple of trails, but you also have this open space behind you. So if you're looking for something like that, keep an eye on Highland Drive. And maybe you're on that side where you look out your back of your window and you just see beautiful nature. So that's one section there. And of course, you're right there off of Los Osos Valley Road as well. And then we're going to head over to this section here, still moving along Los Osos Valley Road up at the top. You can see Ralph's here on the corner, which is kind of that corner mark of South Bay Boulevard and Los Osos Valley Road. And then we go up here towards Bayview Heights. So Bayview Heights is another one. You have access to some beautiful trails. Some of these homes have wonderful views as well, not as high up as Cabrillo Estates, but still you can see the rock, the peaks, all kinds of water views and things like that. So another thing to note, the wide streets on in this location. So great walking neighborhood, not as much of an incline as Cabrillo Estates, and just an all in all friendly vibe. And most of these neighborhoods do have a very friendly vibe going on here. So now if I head over here down below here, I did hear, and this might be true for Bayview Heights as well, is that, you're going away from the coast a little bit and that fog is going to burn off inland going towards the bay. And so this section in here, I have heard that it's like a little microclimate and it's a little bit warmer than some of the other locations in Los Osos. So something to keep in mind if you're looking for something like that. And then we also have a couple more mobile home parks. There's Daisy Hill and Sea Oaks. And so if you're looking for a manufactured home or mobile home, there's some great options there. And again, we're heading down Los Osos Valley Road towards San Luis Obispo to the right. And in this section here on the other side, between Los Osos Valley Road, and I'm going to zoom out, you can see all this green space, is kind of a rural section. It makes you feel like you're out in the country. Some of these folks have horses and chickens and things like that, and large lots and big homes in that area as well. So great little neighborhood there. And again, you feel like you're out there with these great views, but you are so close to everything and you can get to the water as a couple minutes. So that's a great spot there. And then just one last thing to mention, as you head towards San Luis Obispo on Los Osos Valley Road, going in this direction, you're going to start seeing farms and ranches and a lot of beautiful scenery. You're going to see in the spring and into the beginning of summer, you're going to see some beautiful green hills. And it's just all in all a great place to drive. And when you think I'm going to Costco and I get these beautiful drives, you feel pretty lucky. Okay, so that is a look at the neighborhoods in Los Osos. And so whether you're looking for bay views, peaceful trails, friendly neighborhoods, just that classic Central Coast vibe, there's something here for just about everyone. And if one of these areas caught your eye or caught your ear and you're interested in learning about more, I'd love to either meet in person, or if you're not from the area, I'm happy to do video tours and things like that. And I will continue to do video tours and add them to this playlist. So make sure you're subscribed so you can get all the latest updates. And if you are interested in anything else, please do reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so that was your high-level view of Los Osos, California, and I hope you're subscribed because I'm going to make some more videos for Los Osos and the surrounding Central Coast towns. And if you're now ready to take that next step and find out a little bit more, maybe come meet in person, I'd be happy to meet with you and happy to chat with you. Just leave a comment down below, and or you can call, text, or email. All that information is down below in the description and usually in a pinned comment as well. So I can't wait to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to leave a comment and let me know what your favorite part of this video was, or what your favorite neighborhood is or location of Los Osos, I'd love to hear that too. So I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.